Okay. This is Bricks and Banter, episode 2.
Yep.
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
Woohoo! Love that. We're glad you're here with us. A little podcast that discusses homes happening and some other, random things that we enjoy talking about. I'm Shelly Demetrellis, and I'm joined by
Seth Demetrellis.
Love that. Love that you're here. Thanks for being here.
No problem.
Yeah. In today's episode, we're going to be continuing our series in the steps of buying a home. We're going to talk about one of the most important rooms in your house, as we like to call the gathering room. Talk about which room that might be. Different for different people, right?
Sure.
And then, of course, closing up with some banter and some quick snap questions, because we love that. That's the meat and potatoes of what we do here. Just the randomness of the random.
Okay.
We are coming to you from the 719 Lending studio. Huge shout out to Tim Chase and 719 Lending. Good partner of ours. Love to work with them. You can find them at 844-719-LEND. 844-719-LEND. That's Tim Chase and 719 Lending. Always happy that they let us come in and record these.
Yep.
So, all right, let's get down to the brass tacks of our talk today and offer some insight, some entertainment, and I don't know. Maybe we'll give you some good suggestions at the end on some things you can do. So stick around. Make sure you stick around to the end. It'll be worth it. I guarantee it. So we are going to get started with our topic 1, continuing buying a house.
Okay.
Last week we talked about the first step. Actually, we had sort of differing opinions on what the first step might be. What was yours?
Just finding your needs, getting yourself together.
Your goal. Yeah. That's what you came up with. You said goals, and I think I said budget.
Right.
It's the more practical, pragmatic, but they kind of both go together.
They have to.
They really do.
Yeah.
So both, like I said, both of which are important. But today we're going to talk about step 2, which actually maybe should be step 1. I don't know. It's kind of hard to put some of these things in order because there's so many important things that we need to get to. Can you guess what the next step should be?
Well, I know what my next step would be.
What's that?
So, if I've got my goals and my budget figured out, next thing I'm going to do is start looking and talking to different agents, different real estate agents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually was the same. We're golden there.
Oh, so we're together today.
Yeah, we're together today on that one. Definitely hiring that and finding that, real estate professional.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to help you and meet your needs. So, you can look online all day at houses. Everybody does. You see it in different feeds, different websites. And, half the time when you're looking at those houses at different sites, they're not even available anymore.
Right.
So, but finding that real estate professional who can, guide you and be like, okay, yeah, if that's what we're looking for, then, maybe I can find you some off-market unlisted homes, maybe. That might be able to fit in your budget. But so in looking for a real estate agent, where do you go to find those?
Where would I go to find one?
Yeah.
Being one? Well,
obviously.
I would say probably referrals. I would start talking to my inner circle and figure out if they, have had an experience with somebody or could recommend somebody to me. They had a quote unquote guy, they got their guy. I'd probably start there but I know a lot of people also just start doing market research, just start looking stuff up. Searching the best realtor in your area or driving around the certain area you want to live in and see who's selling properties over there. There's a lot of things you could do when it comes to that kind of stuff. But for me personally, I would probably just start talking to my inner circle and asking around, seeing if there was a preferred professional that my friends used. So
also, yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Finding somebody that they used and liked and and trusted. So.
Or on the flip side, that they used and didn't like, and now, I might not choose to use.
Also true. That's true. I love that. When I bought my first home, actually, it's funny because we did figure out what we needed, and then we went to a lender. And I asked my lender, and I was like, hey, do you know any real estate agents? And he was like, yeah, I do. I was like, okay, well, so I got the information from him. So, another person that if you're, looking, you may ask a lender, like, who do they recommend? They're working with a lot of real estate agents as well. So, they probably have their favorites. I'm sure, Tim Chase at 719 Lending, he'll be like, yeah, you need to reach out to Seth and Shelley.
Oh, 100%.
They're going to take care of you. So, but like, I don't know. So when people are looking for an agent, what do they need to, and what do you think they need to look for?
Well, I know I can't speak for, everybody, but I know when people come to me, they want to know my value proposition and what I can do for them, basically. So they want to know how I operate, how I work, how much experience I have, and really, it's almost like listening a lot more than speaking when people come try to, talk to either of us. It's finding out their needs and becoming that for them.
Well, I think so. And I think, a lot of people consider real estate as transactional.
Right. Yeah.
But it's really not. It's really relational.
Oh, it's 100% a relationship business. That's why I think referrals are, the best way to get in contact with a different agent or a new agent.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Definitely. Because you need to make sure that, their work style, because everybody has a different working style, right?
Mm-hmm.
That, their working style can adapt to what you need.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, and like you said, do a little bit of research and see, where they're at and what they do. And, some people, we've had some clients that, they want communication only on this day of the week.
Right.
And then you have other clients that want every day. They just need to, one text, whatever that is. So making sure that, your real estate agent can fit your needs. Definitely.
Yeah. And that's the fun part is if your client's asking the important questions. So if somebody comes to you and is looking for help and they're asking the important questions, that's my favorite thing. Because if I have to, interject myself, obviously I will, because I want to make sure it's going to be a good relationship. But it's definitely pretty nice when people come to you and start asking you questions and you just seem to be clicking and fitting their certain boxes and you're going to be able to help them. You just know. Talking to people, you're going to be able to help them and do a good job.
That's true.
Which is sweet.
Yeah. One of the things I think is funny, because a lot of times when we do open houses and things and we ask people and they're like, oh, I have an agent, or, oh, my brother's an agent.
Mm-hmm.
But, what are your thoughts on using your family as your real estate agent or your good friend? Like that, it's a slippery slope sometimes.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, like I said before, when it comes to the whole referral things and talking to your circle, you're probably going to get somebody close to you who's a real estate agent. But in my books, that doesn't just, shoo them in.
Right.
You've got to interview and you've got to talk to a couple different people. Like I said, ask those important questions to figure out who's going to be best for you.
Right.
So when it comes to using your friends and working with family, I mean, I might be a little biased here, but I don't mind working with family. It's not bad.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good for our business.
Exactly.
For sure. Working with family. It can be trying, though, sometimes.
Oh, 100%.
Well, and I think, as with anything you do in life, you just have to set the expectations up front.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and just, again, like what's your communication look like? What is that, what's going to tick that box for you?
Sure.
I mean, and there may not be bumps in the road, but don't be surprised if there are. Like I can only control one side of the transaction. So,
well, that's the good part is typically there is bumps in the road, and that's what'll cause the tension, especially between families. So, like you said, it is a very slippery slope. One thing I've seen is, not knowing the difference between working hours and hours you can still contact people.
That's true too.
So after 5 or, after 6, when it starts getting later, and you can contact people for pleasure, for, just a nice conversation, but then you bring work into it.
That's tough.
You don't quite give people that sense of respect that they deserve.
Yeah, well, I know, and that's something we do.
Because it goes both ways.
Try not to talk about work after like 6 o'clock at night. Like,
Nope.
It's just like it's so much during the day. Like we're together and we're working and all the things, and I don't want to talk about it after a certain hour. Like not my jam.
Well, and the nice part about our business too is there's really nothing that can be done anyways.
Right.
We can't work around the clock. So
that's true. So, I would say definitely setting those expectations. I like that. So step 2 is finding that professional.
Right.
Everybody thinks they can sell homes and everybody thinks they know the process. But ultimately, it's like you need to find a professional. Like you really do. Because this is, buying a home is usually the biggest purchase anybody ever makes.
Sure. Yes.
So you would want somebody who has your back as your fiduciary, knowing what needs to happen each step along the way and making sure that, you can trust them that they're going to do the right thing and make sure that you're protected all the way. And that's what professionals do. That's what realtors and professional real estate agents do. So definitely those of you out there looking, give us a call. Seth and Shelly Demetrellis at 719-500-7129. I mean, I can't not plug it. Come on.
Oh, you have to.
I mean, that's why we're here. But ultimately, we just want to help people.
Mm-hmm.
Buying a house is a big deal. And it can be really intimidating, especially when you see that contract that's, 18 pages long.
Sure.
I personally, when I bought my house, I was like, I don't even know what this says, but okay. So, then you just like, okay. So having somebody there to explain all that stuff to you and explain each step along the way, I think that's crucial. So step 1, either make sure you got your goals and your budget. Step 2, find that real estate professional. Again, give us a call, 719-500-7129. I mean, I can't not say it. Come on now. So, but I think that's good. I think that's step 2, right? Making sure you're protected. So if we can ever help you with that, please do give us a call. All righty. Well, let's move on to topic 2. I know last week we talked about biophilic. You remember what that means?
Yes.
That's it? I just get a yes?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, definitely. Well, this week I thought we'd move on to, talking about the inside of your house and all the things. And a lot of people, there's always a room in the house. It's like a gathering room, or like, some houses it can be, each house is a little bit different.
Okay.
So like some houses, it's the kitchen. Some houses have, this beautiful big kitchen and, everybody comes and gathers there, hangs out. Some areas, it could be like a dining room. Everybody's there or, living room. But personally, I think it's like the bonus room, like the game room, like the fun area, that has like a bar or, fun stuff in it. Have you ever been in houses that have those?
Oh, I mean, plenty of them. Yeah. That's the room that brings the most attention. So, and especially if you're going in to meet with somebody, that's the room they take you to.
That's also true.
Yeah. If you're going to, a listing appointment or something of the sort, that's the room that you're probably going to be in the whole time.
Probably.
So,
what are some things you've seen in like houses what do they have in those?
Oh man. I mean, I've seen quite a bit of things, different arcade machines. I mean, I saw a whole shuffleboard table one time. Wow. That was a big room. Yeah.
That had to be a huge fun room.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm not very good at it. So, no, I've seen a bunch of cool stuff. In different homes over the years. Yeah. So, what about you?
Yeah, like a lot of pool tables.
Yep. Well,
that's like, kind of the old standard of like
for sure
pool table. You got to have the pool table.
Right.
So when I was growing up on the farm, we had one of our neighbors down the road. They had a pool table in their basement. That was pretty cool. Yeah. We weren't allowed to touch it.
No.
Because it had a cover on it, and you weren't allowed to ever touch it because their dad wouldn't let you touch it. But there was a pool table, so I never played it, but it was there.
Right.
So it was pretty cool. Pool tables, always the oversized TVs or multiple TVs, almost, kind of just maybe a big bar or a, drink area. Mm-hmm. That's kind of cool. I think those are always fun.
Like that wet bar. And then, that's a wet bar in the room. And then you've got To go along with the massive TVs, you got that big sound system as well.
Oh yeah, the surround sound, whatever that
Those
is.
are my favorite. Those are my favorite because that's the guy you want to go watch the game with.
Oh yeah. Oh
Because
yeah.
he's got the best snacks. He's got the best setup to watch.
Right.
So
Yeah, football did start last week.
Yep.
For sure. Yeah, I love that. So, yeah, definitely. What about I don't know, what's the ping pong?
Oh well,
I'm not very good at ping pong. But.
no, that's a fun game though. And I mean, I've seen a lot of combination. Ping pong table with pool table.
Oh yeah.
It's
They
just
have like
that
the convertible,
over the top,
like
yeah.
over the top ones.
Yes.
You can do that. That's true.
Yeah.
And then what's that one? I can't think of the name. It just like
Foosball.
yeah, that's it.
Yep, that's another classic.
I do like a little foosball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is another classic.
Those little good figurines kicking. I'm not very good at it, most part, but
I don't know if there's a lot of people in this world that are very good at it.
I mean,
I know there's a select few that are amazing at it.
I mean, do they have like foosball like tournaments? Do you think?
Oh,
I don't know.
100%.
You think? I've never looked. I mean, I'm just like off the cuff.
There is competitions for everything.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
people
true.
are so competitive. There's
I love that
probably
though.
sleeping competitions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did see one. There was a little foosball table, and it was in. It was I don't know where I saw it, but it was online, and they had taken the little guys and they had painted them all with like different clothes on. I don't know. It was but it was funny because they had like different outfits and different things on. It was a little funny. So I don't know. People get a little crazy with that stuff, but
Okay.
I don't know. But anyway, so I think in my next house, that's what I want. I want like a big, if you had optimal, like you have a house and you can build your gathering / game room, bonus room. What's in yours?
Oh, man. I mean, that's honestly a pretty easy question for me because I'm not sure if you've ever seen the Lego movie. I'm building a whole Lego diorama and, if I've got kids at that time, they're not touching it. I'm Lord Business. I'm telling you. Because there's so many different sets you can put together and make this whole massive diorama. That's what I would put in mine.
So just Legos.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking like a crazy amount of Legos, and it's just going to be the most random things on the planet.
I love that.
Like you're going to have, a Batman set mixed with like a Hello Kitty set. So it's going to look quite strange, and you're going to think there's kids there. But no, it's just me.
No, it's just me.
Yeah.
Should be like, oh,
Just
yeah.
mixing and matching.
What if adults come over and they want to touch the Legos?
Oh, boy.
I mean, because it's a gathering room, so
I
it's,
understand.
you're having people over. Like, are you putting up like a velvet rope or like, what does that look like?
Oh, wow. I mean, I don't think I could ever get to velvet rope status. That's, I can't block people from the Legos that much.
I mean, I know a few of your friends. I think they might mess with them.
Oh, 100%. But I mean, there's got to be some ground rules,
Yeah, because they're going to listen to those.
If I put them out there, maybe. You don't know if you don't ask.
Well, that's true.
You
true.
just got to tell them, be like, hey, maybe let's not rip the Batmobile in half. Let's not do that.
That's true.
Yeah. Anyways,
Anything else in your room? Anything else down there? Just Legos? Because I can't.
Oh,
I don't know.
no. If I had the space, I would set up probably a racing sim, drifting sim. Do you know what that is?
No, I don't.
Okay.
What is that?
It's basically just a simulator. So it simulates the inside of a race car, sports car. And you play a whole bunch of different video games, and you've got your wheel and you've got your pedals and your shifter, and it's got a motion plate. So it's kind of like driving a car, but not quite.
Interesting.
Yeah, they look fun. I've been in a couple of them. I don't have one, but I've been in a couple of them, and they're a good time.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
That would be fun.
Uh-huh.
I think that would be fun. Then there would be like no drinking and driving, though.
That is technically not illegal. So,
Oh, I guess not.
I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. Obviously, I don't condone
obviously
drinking
not,
and driving. But
yeah. In a simulator.
well, I don't know. I'm not even sure I would do a racing sim. A flight sim would also be very cool.
Oh, that would be neat. I don't
Yeah.
know anything about that.
Yeah, I know quite a little bit. I mean, I'm definitely no expert, but
Have you done one before?
That I have not done, and that's why I think I would probably do that. I've done the racing sims, and I've drifted cars and stuff like that, but never flown a plane. So,
really?
Yeah.
You have an interest in that, though?
Oh, yes.
You think so?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Anybody out there in Colorado Springs, you got a flight simulator, Seth wants to try it out.
Yes, I would love to try it out.
Yeah, just give us a call. So, love that.
What about you?
Me? I definitely want like a big bar area, but it doesn't have to have a ton of alcohol in it because I'm not a huge drinker. But I like the snacks.
Okay.
I like the snacks, and I like to play hostess and whatnot. I'd love a big TV because I love to watch me some football and some movies. That'd be fun. Big TV down there.
And I'm not trying to bash this, but let me just get this straight. Your optimal room is a pantry.
I mean, a little bit. Like a little bit.
I've got the Legos and the flight simulator, and you've got snacks.
And I've got a pantry.
Yeah, I'm like, not trying to bash it at all.
No, but I do enjoy a good pantry.
Okay, all right.
And I'm kind of happy about that. Right?
I will let you have it.
Right now, like the gathering room in my house is pretty much the kitchen area. That's people can get in there. I have where there is a pantry.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. But I wouldn't mind like a big pantry. That's not the gathering room though, but but yeah, so I'd want like the bar with the pantry.
Okay.
And then big TV. I don't know. I don't mind playing pool, but it's not like a, like an all the time thing for me. So I don't know if I'd want a big pool table down there or anything. Definitely have to have some room for some plants. Gotta have plants in there.
Okay. You're bringing the outside in again?
Bringing the biophilic.
Okay.
Well, I do enjoy my plants.
Look, there you go. There's your plug from last week.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. You love that? Come on now. It's all connected. It's all connected. Anyway, we'd love to know what you have, in your room as your gathering room. What room is that? Do you have a dream one? Obviously, you heard ours. So we'd love to hear what you think about that and let us know. Moving on to topic 3, I never really have anything here. It's just kind of what's on picking your brain.
Okay.
So, got a couple good questions for you today.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Shoot.
So here we go. First one. Remember who I am? No. Between the two of us, you and me.
Okay.
Which one of us should have to go back and take driver's ed again?
Oh, that's a tough one, but not actually, because statistically speaking, I took it a lot. I took it a lot more recent than you have.
Okay.
So mathematically, you should have to go
I
take
see.
it
We're
again.
going logically and mathematically on this one.
Sure, but who's the better driver? I'm going to have to say me.
Quantify.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay. I've got a bunch of Jeeps and we go off-road, and I've definitely gone down a couple more trails in my life than you have.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, yes. Other than your time in the military, but from what I understand.
And my time on the farm.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
But that's different. That's farm equipment.
Right.
Which, little fun fact, the Jeep was farm equipment.
It was. It was also military equipment.
It was farm equipment, military equipment.
Look at that.
You got to love it.
Love that.
Yep. But I would say overall, you definitely have more experience driving in your life because you've been alive for longer.
I have.
But
a couple days anyway.
But I don't know. I'm pretty cocky, and I've got an ego when it comes to driving. So
I'm not mad about that.
I'm honest.
I'm not mad about that at all.
Just gonna be honest. Don't shoot you straight.
That's a tough question. That's a tough question, though. Like,
do you think I should have to take the driver's ed again? Are you gonna say you're better?
I don't know that it's who's better. Maybe it's just like a refresher. There might be some other people in my life that I might recommend go back to driver's ed.
There's a lot of people.
And it probably wouldn't be you, but, I could think of a couple other people maybe that might need a refresher just because, like you said, I took driver's ed back in the 80s.
Sure. Things were a lot different.
That was a hot minute ago.
Yeah, you didn't need seatbelts. So
No, I don't think we did. I don't remember. I do remember we were taking our driver's ed test. I do remember this. And so we took it in the summertime. And it was our teachers from our high school. A lot of them, they taught us driver's ed. And we were taking the test that day. And, because you took it in the summer.
Okay.
And and we were backing out of the parking lot, and I was in the back seat because there was like 3 of us in the car. Like we all took, there was 3 of us together, and we were backing out of the parking lot, and the first person driving, she backed right into this huge telephone pole in the parking lot. And I was like, and I don't think he failed her. I don't think he did.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's how my driver's test started, was the first person backing into a light pole.
So it's kind of a free pass, because if you did better than that,
I mean, really, I had nowhere to go but up at that point.
Oh, exactly.
So I was good. So, but you should ask, that's a good question. If you're listening to us, who do you think, come on, you're thinking about it right now. You know somebody who needs to go back and take some. I mean, we on the drive here, I could point out 6 people that needed to go take driver's ed again.
Sure, yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's terrifying, but I try to be safe. Use my blinkers. I do like to drive a little fast every now and again, but other than that, I'm pretty safe. So
for legal reasons, I always follow all the laws. So
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love that. That's a great answer.
That is a good answer.
All righty. Question 2. And I kind of know this because we do this a lot. But what's your go-to? Rock, paper, or scissors?
Oh, that's...
I mean, we do a lot of rock, paper, scissors. We really do. And a lot of times we tie a lot.
Well, you know what? Let's give the people a demonstration.
Oh.
One time.
One time?
One time. Let's line it up.
Oh, my gosh. No pressure. We going?
Just go with what you normally go with.
Oh, well, I don't have a standard. Do you have a standard?
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Sure.
Don't give me that sure answer. What is that?
That's, setting me up for success here in about 30 seconds.
Oh, okay. I guess
in your head now.
I know.
Ready?
He's trying to psych me out. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to psych me out. Okay, ready?
Yeah. Look at that.
Oh, see, I thought you always go paper.
I think statistically speaking, scissors is the least used.
Really?
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
Well,
because you'd think most people pick rock, and rock
exactly.
smashes scissors.
And that's typically why it's the least picked. I mean, I think it has a lot to do with the motion, because you think about the way you play rock, paper, scissors. Rock is naturally the one you're going to want to pick.
Well, yeah, because it seems like the most powerful, even though it...
Well, no, I'm saying even deeper than that.
Like hand motion wise.
Right, because you're already,
Sure.
You've already got the rock when you've started trying to play rock, paper, scissors.
Right.
So statistically speaking, I think scissors is the least picked.
Scissors. I love that. All right, one more time.
No, I won.
Oh my gosh, 2 out of 3. We always do 2 out of 3.
This is true. We're on camera now.
Oh my. Okay, fine. I'll let you have this one. Just this one, though.
That's fine.
Okay. Let's see. Well, I think that's kind of, I don't know. I had one more question, but I don't know. We can make it quick.
Okay.
Would you rather fight a bear or a shark?
Oh, that's so easy.
What's that?
Well,
I mean, we have bears in Colorado Springs, so.
Yeah. I would much rather fight a bear. Like, you couldn't get me to fight a shark.
Quantify?
Well, the reason is you think about a shark, you're in their natural environment. You're in the water. And I don't know any human other than Michael Phelps who does well in the water. And he's still nowhere even close to a shark. So when it comes to being in your element and having the best chance of winning, I would probably choose the bear. But then statistically speaking, shark attacks are very rare, if not almost never. So am I just in the environment and the fight is dependent on, are they
I just threw it out there, man.
Do I have to fight them? Like,
well, if you had to fight one or the other, there's a thing. If
I
you had to fight one or the other.
Well, statistically speaking, I'd probably rather fight the shark, just because I think it's like 4 shark attacks a year.
I don't know.
Something very low. And if you stand your ground against them and just push their head down, then they kind of just leave you alone. Yeah. Unless you're bleeding. Then you're wounded. And well, there's definitely a lot more bear attacks.
I think people quantify like a shark attack with like, they think like a great white is coming up and like Jaws is going to, get you kind of thing. So, but
it's true. It depends on the kind of shark and the kind of bear.
That's true.
There's a lot of factors.
There really is a lot of factors. I mean, we have bears here. No sharks.
Yeah, I'm not going to fight a brown bear.
No, they climb trees.
Yeah. No, there's nowhere to run. I mean,
No, there's really not.
a shark can swim, typically about, somewhere, I would say a good estimate is somewhere around 35, 40 miles an hour. And a bear can sprint that fast. So either way, you're not getting away from them.
Yeah, that's true.
The shark, you're even more screwed because there's no way you can swim that fast.
That's funny.
But the bear can climb the trees.
I
There's
love
really
that.
no escape. I mean, you're just kind of cooked.
Some really
either
good
way.
insight from Seth today. I love that.
Well, you say quantify. I've got it.
Well, I want to.
You've got to weigh all your variables.
That's
I'm a
true.
very thorough person.
I love that.
So
Makes you a good real estate agent.
It does. It does. Because when it comes to things, you have to consider different options. It's like, if I have to fight them, what kind of species I'm dealing with.
Right.
So, yeah. What about you? I mean, we'll narrow down the question. Would you rather fight like we'll do a great white shark versus a black bear?
No, not even a shark. No.
No, definitely taking
because
the bear.
I feel like you're already tired because you're swimming.
Right.
Like you're exhausted and they can swim faster than you.
Well, but the bear you can also see.
That's
The shark could just come up from under you. And,
that's also true.
Because you're not under the water. You're trying to stay above so you can breathe.
I love that. Yeah.
So it could be anywhere.
Could be.
Unless it announces its position. But it doesn't
Could
have
be.
to. But the bear, at least you can see coming to
You would hope.
collect upon its
You
meal.
would hope.
But
Collect upon its meal. And, I don't know. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking the bear.
yeah. Well, I think, let's ask the people listening. What would they do?
Yeah, that's true. What would you rather do? Fight a bear or a shark?
Because we're both in the agreement that we'd probably take the bear.
Yeah, any shark takers out there? Any
And tell me why.
Right.
Because I don't see the advantages.
Right. No, me either. But I'd love to know why. If you think that you're picking the shark, definitely we want to know why.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Right.
So, yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of everything. Next, this upcoming next week is September 11th anniversary, which is always, a little solemn.
Yeah.
And, but definitely love our country, love the United States, served many years in the military for them. So proud to have served. And I know you weren't around for September 11th. You were around next year.
Yeah.
But I was definitely stationed. I was stationed at Buckley Air Force Base when it happened. So that was the duty station I was at. But
well, let's just do a big shout out then to all of the people who've served, whether that's within the military, within the police department, the fire department.
Yeah.
I mean, any of those people
need them all.
Every single one of them.
Need them all.
And very thankful for every single one of them.
The EMTs out there, all of them, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, when I was growing up, I was doing Boy Scouts, and we'd always meet at the fire station. They're some of the nicest, most kind people, most brave people I've ever met. So I appreciate every single one of them. Same with police officers and obviously the military.
Yeah.
So.
It's true. We did meet at a fire station. We met at the Disabled American Veteran Hall, too.
Yes, we did.
So both military and fire. So know a lot of really great people and truly thankful that they were willing to give service.
Yep.
And those still serving. Definitely. Yeah. Definitely a lot still serving. So, and then, one more quick one next September 12th. Kind of one of my favorite days.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the 13th is also a good day for me. I won't tell you why, but the 12th is chocolate milkshake day.
Okay. Well, I was going to say it's tomorrow. The day we're recording this, tomorrow is Cheese Pizza Day. So.
Yeah. So, exactly.
And chocolate milkshake?
Yeah, it's September 12th, chocolate milkshake day.
You keep track of all these days.
I know. Sure. Well, kind of some of my favorite ones, National Cheese Pizza Day, chocolate milkshake day.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot happening. September 11th, September 12th, and then it's Friday the 13th.
Yep.
That's always a great day. Have lots of fun that day. So that's always a good day for me. So.
Yep.
But anything else you want to add today?
Other than, God bless our troops, all that. Other than bringing attention back to that, no.
Yeah.
No. Thank you to all those heroes out there. We appreciate you and we support you.
We sure do.
So,
love to hear from you. Shout out to those people. All righty. Well, we appreciate everybody listening in today. Next week, we're going to continue our discussion on the steps of buying a home. We've made it through 2 now. One kind of
counted as 2
I
months.
know. We're kind of on 3, but I don't know. Is it 4? I don't even know. Anyway, tune in next week so we can keep you on this process. We'd love, if you're considering buying a home, we definitely want you to give us a call. If you enjoyed our show today, we love that. We appreciate you coming and listening. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Demetrellis Homes, or give us a call at 719-500-7129, or you can shoot us an email at demetrellishomes@gmail.com. We'd love the participation and, for you to join in, give us your thoughts on shark or bear, what your dream, gathering room would be. We'd love some of have some of those. And, we just appreciate you being here.
If you've got a cool story about how you've served this country too, I'd love to hear it. So.
Oh, yes. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for saying that.
Of course. Yeah.
So definitely a shout out to all of our things. So with that, we will sign off and we will see everybody next week.
Yep. Cool.
As always, we're Seth and Shelley Demetrellis. We're licensed realtors in the state of Colorado. We assume no responsibility or liability for any errors or omissions in the content of this podcast. Its information contained is purely for entertainment purposes, and we encourage you to seek legal counsel for official information related to any topics we discuss.
See you next week, everybody.
See you next week. Have a good one.